Hey everybody, Danny here with Danny Murphy and Associates at First Team Real Estate. Happy New Year, everybody. We are here doing our first real estate market update in 2026. Hard to believe it's here, but it is. Want to do a little bit of a market recap from last year just to kind of give context to how we're moving into the new year. And so median home values across Orange County in 2025 were up 2.2%. The volume was down about 1%, so really flat on volume. There wasn't a lot more transactions than the prior year. Starting in 2026, we now have 2,700 homes on the market in Orange County. And again, for some context, last year we started with 2,400 homes on the market. So this year we're up a little bit, about 10% up. We hit an all-time low in 2022 of only 1,100 homes that were on the market in January of 2022 to start the year. That compared to 2,700 this January. But for some also context, pre-pandemic, so typically we would start the year at about 6,000 homes. So we're definitely still in a low inventory environment. But just not as low as it's been the last 3 or 4 years. So a little more to select from for the buyer out there, a little more competition for the typical seller. From a forecast perspective, we are expecting inventory. When I say we, kind of like the local pundits and housing economists and all that, are expecting that inventory could be up between 5 and 10% this year. So not a significant increase in inventory. I know some people are feeling like they're going to wait for a lot of houses to come online. That may not necessarily happen because we're, again, looking at 5 to 10% increase. And then in terms of prices, it seems like the general consensus is that valuations will be anywhere from flat to up between 1 and 3%. I'd say like the long-term average is like 3 to 5% appreciation here in Orange County in Southern California. 1 to 3%'s normal, healthy, kind of stable, but a little bit less than typical. So really just kind of a steady market. From an interest rate perspective, we started 2025 with rates in the low 7s and high 6s. They then kind of dribbled down for the last 4 or 5 months to be in the low 6s. We dipped into the high 5s about 2 months ago, but that didn't last for very long. So we're definitely in the, we're in that 6 1/4, 6 1/8 range right now. So the forecast for interest rates going forward in 2026 is that we'll likely see rates in the low 6s. I know that there's a lot of talk about a new Fed chairman, and if that person comes in, they're going to be a little bit more dovish, as we call it, so that they will be more interested in cutting interest rates. But we don't think that that's probably going to happen in any substantial way for a lot of different reasons, because inflation is still a little bit of an issue. So the Fed can't cut rates a lot if inflation's still a little bit of a challenge. Also, there's the job market that's pretty steady right now. We're seeing some pockets of weakness in the job markets, but in general, the overall job market is pretty good. So there's not a lot of reason for the Fed to drop rates that much when you really look at the bond market and the economy. I know the current administration would like to see rates lower. Probably won't happen. So we'll probably see rates in the low 6s, maybe the high 5s. If they go into the high 5s, there is a very general consensus that the market will accelerate in terms of activity from buyers, writing offers, and probably appreciation as well. So that's a little bit of an X factor. This is a great time to be out, as a seller. Buyers are getting out and active right now as well. So we're here to help you with all your real estate needs, to educate you on the market, talk about market trends, and obviously help you with your buying and selling, investing, and all those needs in real estate. So thanks so much.